friends. Today we are inventorying deep freezers. I've got this chest freezer here in the garage. I have a stand-up freezer downstairs in our basement, and then our fridge has a freezer on it. One of my goals this year was to meal plan, and so I wanted to meal plan, grocery shop, but before I grocery shop, I have to inventory the freezers in the pantry. Cat is being disruptive. So let's get into it. So I'm just keeping track with this notebook here. I've made a column for meat, for breads, for prepared foods, for fruit and veggies, and then for dessert type foods. So I'm just going to be writing down as I go so that I can keep track. And this is what it looks like right now. So it's actually not too bad. It's not too full. We've eaten up most of the food that was in this freezer. It's mostly empty, which is great. So I'm just going to be pulling things out and putting them into kind of little categories so I can write down what they are and then put them back in the freezer before they start to thaw out. Okay, so this is everything that was in there. My heater is on right now, so I might have to do a voiceover, but most of these bags have bread in them, which we go through really quickly, so I'm not worried about keeping them in the bags. This one has some juice. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down on my list and then put it back in the freezer. Because we have the two big freezers, I try to keep like the meat food out here in this freezer, and then like the prepared food, the fruit and veggies in the basement freezer. So they do sometimes get mixed up, especially this one because it's closest to the car when we unpack the groceries. So sometimes it just becomes the default of all the frozen food, but most of the time I try to keep it separate. Okay, so that was pretty painless. There wasn't too much in there. So now I'm gonna go down to the basement. We'll do that freezer first, and then we'll do the upstairs one either right afterwards, or depending on what time it is, maybe a little later tonight when the family's busy. Okay, just kidding. We're actually going to do the upstairs freezer first because the family was all busy downstairs anyways. So I was like, well, let's just do this one and we will just get it all cleaned out. So I didn't get any footage of me actually taking this stuff out, but this is what was in there. This table has more of like the actual produce kind of stuff, the stuff that actually comes packaged, and the island has more of the food that was just like leftovers. And the inside of the freezer is disgusting, so I definitely wanted to wash this guy out because it was looking pretty nasty. And this is so satisfying, cleaning your freezer out after there is just some spilled food and stuff. So nice. It's amazing what a little hot water can do, you guys. So if you haven't done it in a while, it's nice just to clean out, even just to wipe on the edges or something, you know, a little washcloth and some hot water, just do your magic. This was especially disgusting. There was a pop or a Slurpee or something that was in the freezer that had gotten tipped over and knocked onto this little side piece. So that was just like so satisfying, being able to get that all cleaned off and looking so much better. I try to keep the food in this freezer as the stuff that we are using regularly, the packages that are already opened, or leftovers that we need to use up right away. So I try not to stuff it too full of things, but you know, it does get full after a while. And so going through it gives me the chance to throw away anything that's starting to look freezer burned or whatever it may be, and also just reminds me that like, hey, I froze that can of beans or whatever, the onion, there's that poor little banana that's sitting on the island, and I move it a few times, but I never do put it back in the freezer. I think I actually threw it away. It had a banana peel on it. It wasn't just banana by itself. Anyways, so I am writing things down. That's what I'm doing there on the chair, is I'm making note of what I have so that I can remember when I'm going to like meal plan and stuff. I can be like, oh yeah, we had that
thing of edamame that I can use up. And this is what it looks like all put away. It looks so much better. I'm just going to move these bags out of the way so you can see. These are just like leftover pancakes or whatever. But yeah, looks just like a lot more fresh. I got some, what are this called? What are they called? Cold packs. Ice packs. There we go. You guys, I cannot speak sometimes. I'm sorry. Oh.
Welcome to my basement storage room. This is where our stairs come down, so we've got some storage under the stairs, and then the rest of the room is shelves and the freezer. So we're gonna inventory this guy. This is the last one, and then we'll kind of see what we got from there. So making my list here: the meat, the bread, desserts, and fruit and veggies. I do find that when I make these, one great way to make a list is to use your phone. I'm using my phone to record right now, so I'm not gonna use it, but just open a new notes app or Word doc or something and do voice memo, and then you can just say 1 bag of peas, 1 bag of frozen corn, or whatever, and then it records it for you and makes it go by a lot faster. But then you've got this list that you have to go through and just make sure you've got it all sorted out, and it's harder to make note of like, oh, I've got 5 bags of mangoes here and then 1 down there, so you have to kind of like in your list find that one, and so you have 6 altogether. Anyways, I don't know how to explain it, but that is an option if you're wanting to use your phone. Save time. Okay, have a peek.
Okay, so like I said, we've got fruits and veggies in here. We have some dessert things. There's a turkey there, and some bacon, butter, and then some turkey broth that I've made myself. So it's in some jars there. And I am just pulling things out and noting what's in here.
I just wanted to show you guys, it is time to actually defrost this freezer, but I'm going to let it go for a month or so, and then we'll defrost it then, because this is just really starting to build up here and on this lower shelf here. So that's how I know it's time.
Yeah, defrosting this freezer is probably long overdue, actually. I can't remember when I did it last, so it's probably been over a year. And it's good to get it done. I think twice a year is kind of an ideal setting for it. But, don't quote me. I'm not a freezer professional. Okay, this is how it looks after I've gone through everything, made note of stuff, and then kind of just did some reorganizing so that everything made more sense here in this freezer. So I didn't take anything out. I don't think any of it was like freezer burned or anything. Although that tender flake there has been in my freezer for a long time, and I could probably throw it away because I've never used it.
And that is it. That's all I have in my freezers. So now I'm gonna go create a meal plan for this week, and then I can finish my grocery shopping that I started this morning, but then was like, I actually need to check what my freezer has in it. So let's go do that. Oh, wait. Actually, first we're gonna go into the pantry and just see what I have in the pantry. Then we're gonna meal plan, and then I can finish my grocery shopping.
But before I could even stand in my pantry, I needed to clean the floor out. So I'm just pulling things out, and it's mostly these reusable bags that get all over the place. I usually have them in my car, but I think I recently did a grocery shop, or from the last time I did a grocery shop, they've just been living in the thing. Oh my gosh, you guys. This water cooler, yes, it's the same one that I pulled out of here, I think twice before now. I just need to find a home for it. I don't want it on the floor of the pantry. I don't really want it in the garage. I'm not sure where to put it. That looks better.
We're back in my favorite place, the pantry. If you guys missed it, I did a pantry cleaning video last February, and then I just did one not too long ago. I think it was October or November, so I will link them down below if you're interested. Okay, let's get crack-a-lack in here. I just want to double check canned items, the pasta, and cereal, that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna take a quick visual check and make a few notes, but I'm not gonna write down everything that's in the pantry. That would be absurd, and I'm not gonna do that. So my husband said we didn't have any of this, and this is what he's making today. So we've got 1 pasta sauce, Okay, so now that we know what I have that's in stock, I also need more onions. Forgot that was back here behind the door. I only have 2, so I'd like to get more onions. So now that I know what I have in stock in my pantry and my freezers, now I can actually meal plan for the next 2 weeks. And like I said, I'm just gonna pick 3 to 6 meals. So like 3 meals per week that are like, for sure we're making these meals. And then I'm just gonna have a list of things that we can make with the food that we have on hand. So then that way I don't feel pressured to make things all the time. Like there'll be certain days where I have like, we're making this, we're making that, but I usually do pretty good. Not always, honestly. I don't always stick to the meal plan. It's okay. The point is just so that I'm aware of what I have so I don't overbuy, or when I go to cook, I actually have the food I want. So that's the goal. Okay, let's go meal plan. So the kids came up with 6 possible meals that we could have this week. One was tacos, one was lasagna, one is cranberry chicken. Rotisserie chicken is when we actually get the groceries and I bring home the rotisserie chicken. That's what we have that night. My son wanted to try some ribs and I thought that would be fun. My husband and I have our anniversary this month, so that could be a little celebratory dinner that day. And I wanted to make a chicken taco soup as well. So that was actually 6 meals, so that's nice. So I'm just going through my grocery order and making sure that I have got everything that we need. I like to order online because I'm lazy. I don't like being in store. Welcome to Grocery Shopping with Jerry, which is online with Superstore. So I've already added things to my cart, so I'm just going through making sure that I got the things that I need and to take off stuff that we don't need. So I got apples, bananas, mandarin, oranges. I just have like staple vegetable and fruit that we get all the time because I know that kids like it and we eat it, and so I don't usually venture out too much beyond that. I think I got a few things in Nutri-Grain bars. One thing I would really love Superstore to do, can you please start grouping our carts into different categories so that I don't have to be like, oh, I got Nutri-Grain bars up here, but they also are some down here, right there. So I don't get confused. That's my request. I'm gonna actually put that in there and see if I can get somebody to change something.
Okay, so this carries on for like quite a long time. As I'm going through my groceries, I was just talking about them and everything. But then at the end here, I was like, this is kind of boring. So I didn't want to keep all of it in here, but I kept the good stuff. So you could have that. In the future, if I did this again, I would go to the actual grocery store and take you with me.
Baby spinach, this is for smoothies. You saw how many mangoes I had downstairs, like a billion, because I love having a mango smoothie. It's delicious. So I'm going to get some spinach to go with it. I got ranch dressing. I don't think I had any dressing at all in the pantry, so I'm gonna get one of those, and it's on sale. This price for almond butter is ridiculous, you guys. This is like almost doubled in the last few years. Stupid pandemic. And I got some lean ground beef so that we can make lasagna and tacos with that. I think that's everything that I needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out and call it good. So thank you for coming with me today as I cleaned the freezers out, did a little inventory, cleaned up the pantry, did an inventory there, and then we did some grocery shopping together. So thank you for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe we'll do some meal prepping together sometime too. Talk to you guys later.